So, alright, well, here I am, fresh after the race, and let me pull up my notes. Okay, I hope you guys an explanation. First, I did record a video, I was editing it, and I went on a camp in my workplace, and because of that, I could not finish my video on time. And I had it done by yesterday. I wanted to release it, but I was like, okay, now it's a bit outdated because Baku is today. So here I am recording it fresh after the race. I just saw the podium ceremony and stopped everything, and I'm recording it fresh from now. So there are a few things that I might not have updated in this, like a few drivers on the investigation, like Max Verstappen, for driving around during a VSC and congratulating other drivers, but he overtook some cars doing that, so he's on the investigation there. So he might get a 10-second penalty and finish a bit further back. And okay, so let me start about the weekend. Any important things? Oh, Colapinto crashed and Behrman crashed. Charles Leclerc crashed in the same spot he did before. And okay, that's all in practice. On qualifying, Q1, Norris got out. I mean, okay, I feel bad for Norris because they put a yellow flag and immediately switched to a white flag. So yellow flag means you can't have DRS and you have to be very careful. But white flag means there's a slow moving car, which is what it was. Was it Ocon or Gasly? One of them was moving really slow, and so because of that, Norris was out of Q1. And then Q2, nothing too dramatic. Q3, oh wait, Colapinto did a great job. He outqualified Albon, and Behrman also outqualified Hulkenberg. And that's about it from qualifying. It was Leclerc P1. Oh, also Perez outqualified Max. Great job by him. You don't hear me appreciating Perez this much, but today he drove a race deserving all the praise in the world. You're gonna hear me say good stuff about Perez for once after slandering him throughout the whole year. So yeah, Perez drove a very confident race. For the first time this year, he was looking at like the stronger driver out of the two Red Bulls. I mean, it was due someday, and it was Baku. I mean, that is Perez's track. He's the most successful driver around here. And okay, let's get on pre-race. So what happened pre-race? Let me read. Oh, Gasly was disqualified for a fuel must flow infringement. Like basically you're allowed a certain amount of fuel flow rate, and the Alpine did not maintain that according to the FIA's regulations. So which means they probably produced more horsepower or maybe less, but still it wasn't up to the regulations. So he was disqualified. Ocon and Hamilton had a pit lane start. That means after the race starts, these guys go from the pit lane because they changed components like new power unit components, and Hamilton also had some suspension setup changes, so it was breaking parc fermé conditions, so that's why they had to do this. Otherwise, if they had done it during practice, it would have been just a 10-place grid penalty, I think. Don't quote me on that, I do not have the rule book in my head. So okay, that's pre-race. And then during the race, like I said, Perez drove a great race. Like his start was great, and wow, that was brilliant. And also Charles Leclerc, superb drive. I loved his drive. Oscar Piastri drove an amazing race. And Lando, all these times when he drove in front, he was shit in his races, but this was once where he actually pulled out a good race. And oh my god, I really loved his driving. It was great. No mistakes, perfect drive from Lando. I mean, that's the best he could have done, and he recovered very well. And to outscore Verstappen after starting so far behind was job well done on his side. And also earlier in the race, Lance and Tsunoda crashed into one another. I don't know, it looked like a racing incident. I haven't seen the replay yet, so when I look at it, I will maybe change my opinion, but as of now, it looked like a racing incident. But Tsunoda did close the door on Lance, and he had a huge hole on his side pod, which caused him to retire. Lance had a puncture. I mean, first Lance had a puncture, and then after that we saw Tsunoda drop by, and Daniel just overtook him and everything. And man, the RBs and the Red Bulls are nowhere. Like, Okay, Perez was doing crazy stuff, but it's kind of suspicious seeing the Red Bulls fall this bad. Okay, I'll get onto that later on. So what happened after that? Lance had a brake failure and he DNF'd. And then, oh my god, on the penultimate lap, I think, was it the penultimate lap or maybe 2-3 laps before, Checo and Sainz. Okay, further, I haven't seen the replay properly, but from what I saw, it looked like Sainz had his wheel pointing the right direction, but his car just, I don't know, it just pulled towards the wall, and Sainz actually had opposite lock, like, he was like fighting that maneuver. I don't understand what happened. Maybe later on in the day we'll get an update, but it looked like a racing incident. I can't really pinpoint the mistake on someone, but it ruined Checo's race. Like, I feel so bad for him. This is Checo's best performance this year, hand on heart, and a ton of respect for Checo. Great drive, but man, this thing ruined his race. And yeah, I feel really bad for Carlos too. It would have been a lovely McLaren 1, Ferrari 2-3 finish, but or even Perez could have taken the lead. It was a dogfight to the end, but sadly, I don't know what happened. The replay was not that clear. I didn't really understand what happened because I was looking at his steering to see if he moved that way, but I did not really see an input. I think he just lost control, and we had to check the replay again, and I will let you know. You know what? Let me pause and go check the replay for now. Okay, now that I've seen the incident, I think it's more on Perez, because Perez hit the inside of his wheel, like inside of Sainz's rear wheel, and that's why Sainz started turning in towards him, and he went towards the wall. He was trying to counter steer for that. That makes a lot more sense, because the other way it made absolutely no sense at all why the car just veered there. So it's on Perez. I did watch the video. I'll put a little snippet of the replay here. And okay, so that's what happened. And after that, what else? Oh, Lando's defense on Perez to help Piastri was beautiful. Like, after the previous papaya rules thing, this was amazing. Well done from Lando. And Lewis, I don't know what happened with him. It's a weekend to forget from him. Like, man, he couldn't get his tires fired up. And also, I have a conspiracy theory. I'll get onto that later. Because for some reason, like, the thing is, a 7-time world champion would not forget how to switch on his tires, right? This is like something basic. Like, even when I play ACC, for example, my early days, I did not know how to get my tires at the right window. And now I know how to heat up my tires, get some temperature in it, and push. So like, before you go for qualifying, I know how to prepare it, check the dials, get reading, and make sure my temperatures are right. Like, there's a core temperature and the outer temperature and all of these. When you know your temperatures are right, that's when you go for the attack. So I'm pretty sure F1 drivers also know about these, and they have the information on their wheel. And I do not understand why during qualifying he kept saying that, oh, make sure my tire temperatures are high enough, because I'll be honest, if your tire temperatures are low, you need to put a lot more stress on your tires to heat it up. And also you need to brake a little harder, you need to turn a bit more aggressive, and this also can wear off your tires a little bit. It's very minor, but you have to drive the car really hard on your outlap in order to set a qualifying time. So if you're used to doing this at a particular temperature, and then all of a sudden it's like a couple of degrees colder, maybe when you start your lap, you will not be at the optimum temperature you're supposed to bring it to. And if the temperature shown on your dashboard does not correlate with the actual tire temperature, that could also be a major problem. Like, especially, I remember once, if I can find a replay, I will put it, but I don't think I have a replay of this. But I remember once I could not fire my tires up when I was driving on Silverstone with the 911 Cup, and on that as well, I screwed up a corner because my tires didn't have enough grip, and that's because I was really dumb and I didn't read the tire temperature thing on my display. So that was on me, but I don't think someone like this would have made that mistake. That's why he was complaining about the tire temperatures. So it's just a theory, and I know it's like me defending my favorite driver, which is true. But I don't know. The thing is, someone who's been a 7-time world champion cannot randomly forget how to work tires, which is like one of the basic things. Like even F2 drivers do this well. So that's where my thing lies. So Piastri won and he deserved that race win. Perez and Carlos, sad. Leclerc drove a godlike race. Like that defense in the end was crazy. And I saw this guy every time he went over that curb. He was leaving black color tire marks and everything. Yeah, he did use his tires a bit more, but man, the McLaren is rapid and how good they are on their tires, it's crazy. But I also saw a little picture about their DRS efficiency. Like they have like flexible wings even on their rear wing, and it's crazy. The McLaren is doing great. I love that car. Okay, so my thoughts. I think Oscar Piastri is a World Drivers' Championship level driver, and Lewis's tire temperature complaints, I don't know if he's just stirring the pot or he's actually complaining the real deal, or it's just him feeling detached from the team and he's like finding reasons to know why, or he may not be able to function at his optimum level. I hope he finds his edge at Ferrari, and McLaren Ferrari next year is going to be chef's kiss. I'm waiting for this. And also Leclerc and Piastri this year, I want them to go for the World Drivers' Championship. It's a very long shot, I know, and it's pretty hard as of how it is. But if they do manage to get it, I am all in for it. I would support the shit out of those two. And yeah, that is about it. So I will catch you guys next week and have a good week. See you at Singapore. Is it Singapore next? Let me check. But yeah, goodbye.